And in theory... Sorry about that. Still trying to understand how OBS works. And in theory, we are now live. Yeah, this is a bit surreal. Thank you everybody for turning up to my video game pub quiz. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes before I actually go into the questions, just to make sure like everybody's had enough time to actually turn up. But in theory, people are on their way, and in theory you can see me now. I've already had a few people texting me photos of their TVs in their living room to say, well, we've got you on the big screen, which is quite a lot of pressure. So thank you for that, just before I'm about to go live. I really appreciate it. So, the plan for tonight, this evening, however long it takes, I'm not really sure, is that there are going to be 8 total rounds. Each round will have a sort of theme, and there's going to be 8 questions in each round. I was umming and ahhing about giving bonus points and things like that, but I've just worked out that 8 times 8 is 64, and I'm not going to change the total amount of points being 64. So that's the goal. Let's try and get 64 points, people. Yeah, so bit of housekeeping, I think. Ideally, I think I put this in the video on Facebook, ideally try not to put the answers to the questions in the comments on YouTube, wherever they are that way. I don't know where they are. Just because it's like, it'd be nice if people were able to chat in there without having the questions ruined for them, ideally. What else is there? Yeah, I hope you've all got a drink. I did and ah about whether or not I should try and down a drink, but I can't do that, so that would have just been embarrassing. Yeah, it's a weird time at the moment, isn't it? So I'm so glad so many of you are able to like turn up. Yeah, according to my thing, I've got 47 concurrent people at the moment, which is a bit strange, knowing that I only know about 5 of those. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think everybody. So what are we've got? As I say, there's going to be 8 different rounds. 2 of those. One of those is going to be a picture round. One of them is going to be a music round. And there's also just 6 general knowledge questions about different types of video games. Tempted to just hang around for a few more minutes just to make sure everyone like is sat down, got their pen and paper. Remember, this is just for fun. You're not going to win anything. I'm not giving you anything. I'm far too tight and /stingy / I can't order anything anyway, can I? Like, all the shops are closed. Otherwise, I would have run out and bought you something lovely, obviously. So yeah, just for fun. Sorry if I look really nervous. It's because I am really nervous. I thought this was a good idea, and then like 5 minutes ago I was thinking, this isn't a good idea. So if it all goes tits up, sorry, you can just leave, it's fine. People text me, great. Right. I think we are coming up to 5 past my end. I know there's a bit of a delay as well, so if I'm not like, and I've just realised I can't read the comments and have my like thing that I'm operating the quiz from open at the same time. Should have worked that out beforehand, but I didn't. Oh well. So I'll jump in and out of the questions, the chat every so often if people are chatting in there. But as I say, I will see it. There's a bit of a time delay. Okay, right. Now there was a bit of a spoiler. Well, I kind of accidentally revealed this when I went live because I still had it open because I still don't know how OBS works. But the first round is... Did that work? I don't know. The first round, stage 1, platformers and RPGs. So, pen and paper at the ready. What I'll probably do is I'll go through a couple of rounds, then we'll go back and we'll do the answers to that round. And at some point I'll probably have like a 10-minute break so we can all go to the loo, get more drinks, and find some more paper. Are you ready? Question 1. Some of them are quite easy, some of them are less easy, just so you know. Question 1. What is the name of Mario's green dinosaur sidekick who first appeared in Super Mario World? And again, what is the name of Mario's green dinosaur sidekick who first appeared in Super Mario World? I've just realised the more I drink, the more slurry my words are going to get. Oh well. Question 2. In the series The Witcher, what is the name of the main protagonist? Again, in the series The Witcher, what is the name of the main protagonist? I love that word, protagonist. Thank you for your kind comments, I've just read a couple. Question 3. At the beginning of Pokemon Red and Blue, you have a choice of 3 Pokemon. Name one of them. It could have been name all 3, which depends how well you know Pokemon, but even that's not that difficult, but this gives my sister a chance at answering the question. At the beginning of Pokemon Red and Blue, you have a choice of 3 different Pokemon. Name one of them. Question 4. What is the full name of Sonic the Hedgehog's orange fox friend? And again, what is the full name of Sonic the Hedgehog's orange fox friend? Question 5. In the game Shovel Knight is on a mission to save his partner and love interest. What is her name? Now, I've decided to give you choices for this one. So it's one of these 4. Is it Lance Knight, Shield Knight, Bucket Knight, or Plague Knight? In the game Shovel Knight is on a mission to save his partner and love interest. What is her name? Lance Knight, Shield Knight, Bucket Knight, Plague Knight. Question number 6. Diablo 2, including the expansions, has 7 classes to choose from. Which of these is not one of those classes? The Amazon, the Necromancer, the Paladin, or the Bard? Which of those classes is not in Diablo 2, including its expansions? The Amazon, the Necromancer, Paladin, or the Bard? In the game Psychonauts, you play as a young boy gifted with psychic abilities. What is his name? In the game Psychonauts, you play as a young boy gifted with psychic abilities. What is his name? And I just picked up my mouse to try and scroll something on my iPad. That does not work. Ni no Kuni followed a young boy named Oliver and his companion Drippy. But what accent did Drippy have? I'm going to give you some options. Was it Scouse, Scottish, Brummie, or Welsh? Ni no Kuni followed a young boy named Oliver and his companion Drippy. But what accent did Drippy have? Scouse, Scottish, Brummie, or Welsh? Right, I think I'm just going to move straight on to stage 2. and then we'll round back in a minute. Maybe at the end of the at the end of one of the rounds, I'll come back and we'll go through the answers for that, and you can mark either your own or your friends if you sat with a friend. Hopefully not googling these answers as we go along. It kind of takes the point out of it, but you're welcome to. Alright, yeah, I am going to move across now to stage 2. And stage 2 is intro. Yeah, stage 2 is arcades and simulations, or simulators. I forget what I called it. Arcades and simulations. Question 1. The classic arcade game where you play as two bubble-breathing dragons is called Bubble what? The classic arcade game where you play as two bubble-breathing dragons is called Bubble what? Question 2. The Sims games use their own language when the characters talk. What is the name of this language? I'm going to give you some options. It's one of these 4. Simutalk, Simlish, Simspeak, or Simulan. The Sims games use their own language when the characters talk. What is the name of that language? I'll go through them again. Simutalk, Simlish, Simspeak, Simulan. Quick drink. At the beginning, question 3. At the beginning of Stardew Valley, you are given a farm to restore. But why/how do you receive the farm in the first place? At the beginning of Stardew Valley, you are given a farm to restore. But how/why do you receive... covering the light. What do you receive the farm? Just been told to say question numbers. Sorry, that was question number... doesn't matter because that's out of time, isn't it? That was question number 3. So if I haven't been saying question numbers, question number 1 was the game about the bubble-breathing dragons. Question 2 was the one regarding The Sims. And question 3 is the one about Stardew Valley. Question 4. The 1981 Konami game which saw you carefully move a frog through heavy traffic and treacherous rivers was called what? Question 4. The 1981 Konami game which saw you carefully move a frog through heavy traffic and treacherous rivers was called what? Question 5. The rhythm game which you control with your feet, which was often abbreviated as DDR, was called what? I'm classing this as an arcade game, which is why it falls in this category. Question 5. The rhythm game where you control the game with your feet was often abbreviated as DDR. What was it called? And I'm already getting a backache on this chair. Awesome. Hey, we got like 50 people watching. That's cool. Question 6. In Dig Dug, there are 2 main ways of defeating enemies. One was crushing them with a falling brick. What was the other? basically his attack. There's a clue. In Dig Dug, there was two main ways of defeating enemies. One was crushing them with a falling brick. What was the other? Question 7. In the original Pac-Man, how many power pellets were available on each screen? Question 7. In the original Pac-Man, how many power pellets were available in each screen? Or on each screen? My plan was in terms of the order of these questions. Yep, it's weird seeing myself on other people's TVs. Okay. And question 8. The 2008 game by EA, which saw you control the life of a species from a microscopic organism to an advanced space exploring culture, was called what? Have I got the year right for that? Must have done. The 2008 game by EA, which saw you control the life of a species from a microscopic organism to an advanced space exploring culture, was called what? Okay, and that was the end of stage 2. Are we doing okay for time? Yeah, it's only took like just over, well, not even 20 minutes. Okay. I think we should move on to stage 3. But I feel like we need one of my jazzy intros. Not gonna lie, still super proud of that. Right. Stage 3 is shooters and puzzles. Okay. In Perfect Dark, you meet an alien who helps you along your way. What is he affectionately known as? And if we could give you some options now. Is it Freddy, Elvis, Beethoven, or Cher? Again, question 1. In Perfect Dark, you meet an alien who helps you along your way. What is he affectionately known as? Is it Freddy, Elvis, Beethoven, or Cher? Question number 2. The most amount of lines that you can get rid of in one move in the game Tetris is how many? Question number 2. The most amount of lines that you can get rid of in one move in the game Tetris is how many? Bet people are trying to work it out now. Question number 3. What is the name of the in-game currency in Fortnite? I mean, I had to have a Fortnite question in here, didn't I? Just popular. And I'm quite addicted at the moment, I must admit. I never thought I would be. Yeah, people liking the intros. Yeah, good. That question again was, what is the name of the in-game currency in Fortnite? Question number 4. The character Handsome Jack is from which franchise? Or game series? That makes more sense. I'll just say that next time. The character Handsome Jack is from which game series? Question 5. Professor Layton is usually accompanied by a young boy who helps him on his adventure. But what is the name of the boy? I'm going to give you some options. Is it Marty, Alec, Luke, or Andy? Just the first name's fine. That was question 5. Question 5. Professor Layton is usually accompanied by a young boy who helps him on his adventures. But what is the name of the boy? Marty, Alec, Luke, or Andy? Question 6. In the game Bioshock, your way is often blocked or encumbered by rather terrifying enemies known as Big What? I'll read that again. Question 6. In the game Bioshock, your way is often blocked or encumbered by a rather terrifying enemy known as Big What? Question 7. In Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, one of the best puzzle games of all time, in its story mode, how many enemies, including Dr. Robotnik, must you beat to finish the game? I'm going to give you some options. 9, 13, 15, or 17. In Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine story mode, how many enemies, including Dr. Robotnik, must you beat to finish the game? 9, 13, 15, or 17? Okay, I'm not going to promise to do this going forwards. Oh no, don't worry, somebody's answered the question for me before I've even got around to doing it. Thank you very much, chat, that's amazing. Question 8, so the final one of this round. Stage, not round. Although never mentioned in-game, what is the name of the artificial intelligence system that puts you through your tests in Portal? Who is it that talks you through Portal? Puts you through the tests? That was question 8. Question 8 again. Although never mentioned in-game, what is the name of the artificial intelligence system that puts you through your tests in Portal? And that is the end of stage 3. So, I think we're going to go back now, very quickly go through the answers. Oh, somebody's asking question 7. In Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, how many enemies, including Dr. Robotnik's, must you beat to finish the game? 9, 13, 15, or 17? I probably can't really repeat questions going forwards, though. Just because by the time you've asked it, it's been like a minute before I've seen it, or you've seen it. Right, I'm going to go back to stage 1, and we're going to go through some answers. Let's see how well you did. I'll wait a second. I can have a bit more drink. I'm being told, no, let people go get a drink now and then do the answers, but no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna do the answers. This is my quiz, goddammit. But thank you for your input, Matt. Okay, stage. I'm gonna go through them quite quickly, so pay attention, okay? So 1 point for each correct answer, obviously. Okay, we're going back to stage 1. So platformers and RPGs. You don't get a flashy intro this time. What is the name of Mario's green dinosaur sidekick who first appeared in Super Mario World? That, of course, was Yoshi, or Yoshi. Depends how you say it. So that was answer to question 1, Yoshi. Question 2. In the series The Witcher, what is the name of the main protagonist? That was Geralt of Rivia. Or Geralt is fine. Number 2 was Geralt of Rivia. Question 3. At the beginning of Pokemon Red and Blue, you have a choice of 3 Pokemon. Name 1. And actually, I was in my haste to type this morning, because I left it till last minute, obviously. I actually completely put the wrong, well, not the wrong, put the wrong evolution of a Pokemon down. So the actual answer is Charmander, Squirtle. You could have wrote any of these down to get a point, or you could have picked the wrong answer, the wrong choice of the 3, which is Bulbasaur. Don't pick Bulbasaur. I mean, it's fine, it's not fine. So yeah, so question 3 was Charmander, Squirtle, or Bulbasaur. Question 4. Now I'm going to allow half a point here if you only got half of the name. What is the full name of Sonic the Hedgehog's orange fox friend? And that was, the full name is Miles Tails Prower, because it's a pun. His full name is Miles Prower, but everyone calls him Tails, so if you just put Tails you get half a point. Question 5. In the game Shovel Knight is on a mission to save his partner and love interest. What is her name? I gave you a few options, but the actual answer was Shield Knight. And god damn, is that a good game. So yeah, question 5, Shield Knight. Sorry, I've upset people by saying Bulbasaur's not good. Question 6. Diablo 2, including the expansions, had 7 classes to choose from. Which of these was not one of them? The Amazon, the Necromancer, the Paladin. The answer was the Bard. Although, there definitely should be a Bard in the upcoming Diablo 4. Wouldn't that be amazing? So, question 6, the answer was the Bard. Question 7. In the game Psychonauts, you play as a young boy gifted with psychic abilities. What is his name? His name is Raz. R-A-Z. Raz. So question 7, Raz. And question 8 for stage 1. Ni no Kuni followed a young boy named Oliver and his companion Drippy, but what accent did Drippy have? He had a Welsh accent. If I wasn't worried about insulting everybody in Wales, I would try and do the accent now. So I'm not going to. I will just say that it was tidy. I'm just going to say a Welshism, tidy. I'll try again. Okay, so that was stage 1. Stage 2, arcades and simulations. Question 1. The classic arcade game where you play as 2 bubble-breathing dragons is called Bobble. B-O-B-B-L-E. Sorry, reading the chat. So question 1 was Bubble. Question 2. The Sims games use their own language when the character talk. What was the name of this language? It was Simlish. Simlish. So question 2 was Simlish. Well done, John Whitehouse, for 2.5 points. Question 3. At the beginning of Stardew Valley, you were given a farm to restore, but why do you receive the farm in the first place? You inherit it from your deceased grandfather. Why I decided to put this question in the quiz, I don't know. But number 3, it's inherited. Inherited, you get a point. Inherited from your grandfather, yeah, 1 point, it's fine. Is this too hard? People are giving me really low numbers that they've actually scored. Oh dear. Alright. 4. The 1981 Konami game which saw you carefully move a frog through heavy traffic and treacherous rivers was called Frogger. Question 4. Frogger. Question 5. The rhythm game which you control with your feet was often abbreviated to DDR was called Dance Dance Revolution, and I'm sure they're still going. So number 5, the answer is Dance Dance Revolution. Question 6. In Dig Dug, there are two main ways of defeating... Ooh, a little clue there. Defeating enemies. One was crushing them with a falling brick. What was the other? It's inflating them with air, which... I really hope they never make a photorealistic version of that, like modern day, because that'd just be disgusting. Because he just like pumps them up and they go... So yeah, number 6 is inflating them with air. Question 7. In the original Pac-Man, how many power pellets were available on each screen? There was 4. There was 1 in each corner of the screen. So no, question 7 is 4. And question 8. The 2008 game by EA which saw you control the life of a species from a microscopic organism to an advanced space exploring culture was called Spore. And it was one of the most disappointing games I've ever bought. I was so excited for that game and it was rubbish. I hope that's not a controversial thing that I'm going to annoy people in the chat again. So question 8 was Spore. Somebody's asked what if you put Dead Uncle. I'm allowing it. For the Sims... yeah. Stardew Valley. And stage 3, shooters and puzzles. In Perfect Dark, you meet an alien who helps you along your way. What is he affectionately known as? His name is Elvis. Again, he's known as that. He's actually got like a slightly more harder to pronounce name that I didn't bother writing down because I knew I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. But his name is Elvis. Question 1 on stage 3 is Elvis. Question 2. The amount of lines you can get rid of in one move in Tetris. Now, this should be an easy question, but I feel like people might get it wrong. The most amount of lines you can get rid of in one move in Tetris is 4. And that is called a Tetris. So question 2 is 4. Question 3. What is the name of the in-game currency in Fortnite? It's V-Bucks. I know you can technically... Can you get coin? No, it is just V-Bucks, right? Yeah, so question 3 is V-Bucks. Question 4. The character Handsome Jack is from which games series? I nearly is a franchise series. That was Borderlands. I don't know which ones he's in. I've not played much Borderlands, but he's definitely in at least one of them. Question 5. Professor Layton is usually accompanied by a young boy who helps him on his adventures, but what is the name of the boy? It is Luke. Luke Triton, or Triton. Luke Triton. So question 5 is Luke. Question 6. In the game Bioshock, your way is often blocked or encumbered by a rather terrifying enemies known as Big Daddies. I'm fairly certain there's more than one of them. I'm sure you kill them when they come back, but Big Daddies. Big Daddies is the answer to question number 6. Question 7. In Dr. Robotnik's Mean Beans Machine story mode, how many enemies, including Dr. Robotnik, must you beat to finish the game? See, I love this game, but I didn't know the answer to this. It's 13. Why I put this question in there? Get people, seeing if they can remember how many different robots you had to fight, but it was 13, including Dr. Robotnik. And question 8. Although never mentioned in-game, what is the name of the artificial intelligence system that puts you through your tests in Portal? And her name is GLaDOS, or GLaDOS. And it stands for, I didn't ask this, but I'm going to give you anyway, Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System. I'm not sure if they even give her name in the second one. But her name's definitely GLaDOS. 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 And that was the answer to question number 8. I'm loving the amount of extra knowledge that people know. I'm super impressed. Right, okay, so I am going to... I don't need to go get a drink, to be fair. So no, I'm just going to carry on. So that was 35 minutes. Right, we are going to go on to the first bonus round. Oh, I've got an intro. Wait. I've got an intro. Which one am I doing first? This one. You ready? I'll move across so I can actually see it myself. I know, I moved the wrong way. Okay, so yeah, our first bonus round is going to be a picture round. So hopefully you can see your screens. And hopefully I don't mess this up. Picture round. So I will give 1 point if you know the name of the character. If you don't know the name of the character and can name the game, I'll give you half a point. But you don't get 1.5 points for knowing both. Does that make sense? 1 point for the name of the character. If you don't know the name of the character and you only know the game, then you get half a point if you know the name of the game. Alright, so I will move myself. Oh, I've got to move myself. I'm going to move myself over the bar. Whoop. Closer to the bar. Awesome. Closer to my drink. Okay. Name the character. Should I do that silly thing where I'll try and look at the picture that I can't see? Is it there? Is it that way? Yeah. Oh no, there's one. So I want the name of this character, and if you don't know the name of the character, then please tell me the game that it, they, she, he, not going to assume genders, is. Okay. You've had long enough with that. Question number 2. Who's this one? So that was number 1. This is number 2. Okay. It's going away now. Remember, we're looking for the name of the character. I mentioned that because this is question number 3. Okay. If anyone knows this, I'll be quite impressed, to be honest. And you can't even cheat this one. If you did know it, put it in the comments at the end. Question number 4. This one. This is the one I'm going to be impressed with. First name is fine. If you've got this on the TV, at least you've got a slight advantage over the people that are trying to watch it on their phones. And it's going away. Question number 5. You don't know the name? On with the game. Ooh. Like that. And it's going away. Number 6. Yep. Okay, that was number 6, right? Number 7. Yeah, I thought people might be impressed with the pitch round. Oh, I didn't do the intro for the bonus round though, did I? Get it. Quiz over. And number 7 is going away. And number 8. Okay, what I'm going to do, because I need to go at the room very briefly, I'm very quickly going to, on the fly, this will be interesting, see if I can, oh no. Am I going to do this? No, I'm not. I'm just going to go through them one more time for you very quickly. Alright, so. Okay. Number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. And number 8. And I'm going to leave number 8 up very briefly. I will literally be 2 minutes. Nature calls. Might as well just tell you. And I'll be back very briefly. Back in a sec. I'm already back. It wasn't a poop break. Don't worry, people. God, you're weird. Right. I feel like you've had enough time. What I'm going to do is we'll go through the answers for this very quickly. Then we'll move on to round 4. Stage 4. Didn't say round, I said stage. Ready? Right. Let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so question 1 was Cortana from Halo. Number 2 is Aku Aku, the mask from Crash Bandicoot. Number 3, a lot of you probably knew this was from Pac-Man. His name is Clyde. And he's the only one with a name that doesn't rhyme with the others, which is interesting. I think it's Pinky, Blinky, Inky, and Clyde. Did anybody know this one? Even I've just panicked and thought, have I got the right name? This is the young girl from the beginning of The Last of Us. Her name is Sarah. Question 5. This is Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. And Half-Life 2. And Half-Life 3. And people laugh at that. This is Clank from Ratchet and Clank. Again, Clank. Number 7 is Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. If you just put BioShock, yeah, I'll still give you half a point. And this little happy chappy is Glover from Glover. I was about to say I have fun memories of this on the N64, but I don't. I have memories of this on the N64. Okay, so that was the picture round. I think that worked. I definitely washed my hands, by the way. I did. Right, let's move on to round 4. But before we do that, let's get an intro. I think there's music. Let's put me back in the middle of the screen, eh? Cool. Right. Question 4, stage 4, which is sports and beat 'em ups. Why I decided to put a sports round in this is beyond me, because I know nothing about sports games, so you'll probably see that from the questions. Okay, stage 4. Question 1. The pack-in game Wii Sports, so the game that came with your Nintendo Wii, Wii Sports, had how many different sports games? Does that make sense? So let me read that again. The pack-in game Wii Sports had how many different sports games you could play? So it was one disc with a certain amount of sports games that you could play on there to test out your Wii remotes. Remember how we did that? That was question 1. How many different sports games could you play on Wii Sports? Question 2. In the original Streets of Rage game, you could play as either Axel, Blaze, or... what was the third character called? In the original Streets of Rage... Question 2. In the original Streets of Rage, you could play as either Axel, Blaze, or... Question number 3. SSX. I'm really aware that I'm going to be saying that into the mic. SSX, the letters SSX, was a game about what type of sport? I'm going to be lenient-ish with this one. SSX was a game about what type of sport? And I absolutely know this one without looking it up. Question 4. Who is on the cover of EA Sports FIFA 19? Question 4. Who is... I feel like I'm going a bit quick now, sorry. Question 4. Who is on the cover of EA Sports FIFA 19? Question 5. Rash, Zitz and Pimple are the names of who? What are they collectively known as? Read that again. Number 5. Rash, Zitz and Pimple are the names of who? Question number 6. In Mortal Kombat, what does the character Scorpion say when dragging an opponent towards him with his spear? Question 6. In Mortal Kombat, what does the character Scorpion say when dragging an opponent towards him with his spear? Yes. Oh. Question 7. Waluigi made his first appearance in which game? And again, question 7. Waluigi made his first appearance in which game? And question number 8. In Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube, which 2 Fire Emblem characters made their first appearance to the franchise? So, by the franchise, I mean Smash Bros. And again, so question 8. In Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube, which 2 Fire Emblem characters made their first appearance to the franchise? Maybe well done one on that one. Can I have a quick nose at the thing? Somebody's saying it's not a spear. Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was called. And then when I quickly googled it, somebody said spear. I was like, that'll do. Right. Hold on. Intro. Ready? Boom. Stage 5, Adventures and Horrors. Okay. Question 1. In Resident Evil, Barry refers to Jill as the master of what? And I'm going to give you some options. Cooking, shooting, unlocking, combining. Again, question 1. In Resident Evil, Barry refers to Jill as the master of what? Cooking, shooting, unlocking, combining. Question number 2. I put the original Tomb Raider 2, but I think you know what I mean when I put the original, like, because there's more than one remake. Anyway, in the original Tomb Raider 2, people found it hilarious to trap the butler in the walk-in freezer. But what was the name of the butler? Question 2. In the original Tomb Raider 2, people found it hilarious to trap the butler in the walk-in freezer. What was the name of the butler? Question number 3. The enemies, known as Pyramid Heads, are linked to which series? Which game series? Obviously, it's a game quiz. Question number 3. The enemies, known as Pyramid Heads, are linked to which series? Question number 4. Insult sword fighting is from which game series? Question number 4. Insult sword fighting is from which game series? Question number 5. Which video game protagonist believed they were a descendant of Sir Francis Drake? I'll give half a point for the name of the game. Which video game protagonist believed they were a descendant of Sir Francis Drake? Question number 6. Which controversial game of 2004 saw you play as James Earl Cash, who was a death row prisoner forced to participate in snuff films? And it was quite controversial. Question number 6. Which controversial game of 2004 saw you play as James Earl Cash, who was a death row prisoner forced to participate in snuff films? Because this is a happy quiz. Now this one might... This is for true gamers. Question number 7. What is the name of the stat in Bloodborne that governs your character's inhuman knowledge, and one way it can be acquired is by consuming Madman's knowledge? What's the name of the stat? I'll read that again. Question number 7. What is the name of the stat in Bloodborne that governs your character's inhuman knowledge, and one way of acquiring it is by consuming Madman's knowledge? And question 8 of stage 5. Shadow of the Colossus sees you climbing and slaying how many different colossi? I'm going to give you some options. Is it 12, 16, 20, or 24? That was question 8. Question 8. Shadow of the Colossus sees you climbing and slaying how many different colossi? 12, 16, 20, or 24? I'll quickly check chat. Am I skipping questions? Does anybody think I missed a question in that round? I'm just going to wait, or you let me know if you've actually missing a question. I'll wait to find out if anybody's actually can tell me which one I missed. I definitely read all those. And those. I think you're just... Maybe am I going too quickly? No, somebody said they're fine. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, thank you very much. Right, so I'm going to move on to... Hold on. Oh, nearly said it before I did my intro. Intro. Yeah, so stage 6 is racing and hardware. A weird combination, but oh well. Okay. So question 1. Question 1. I'm going to read something out to you. Set in 2052, players compete in the F3600 Anti-Gravity Racing League, piloting one of a selection of crafts in races on several tracks around the world. What game am I describing? And if you think that's a really poor description, that's what Wikipedia said, so blame Wikipedia. So that was question 1. Set in 2052, players compete in the F3600 I don't know if it's F3600 or F3600 Anti-Gravity Racing League, piloting one of a selection of crafts in races of several tracks around the world. What game am I describing? Question number 2. The Sega Dreamcast had how many standard controller ports? That was question 2. The Sega Dreamcast had how many standard controller ports? Question number 3. Not including the D-pad at all, ignoring the D-pad, how many buttons did the SNES controller have? So the official SNES controller, not like a third-party one. Not including the D-pad, how many buttons did the SNES, S-N-E-S if you're an American, controller have? Question number 4. The foul-mouthed squirrel, Conker, first made his appearance in which game? Question 4. The foul-mouthed squirrel Conker first made his appearance in which game? Question number 5. Need for Speed Payback, which was released in 2017, took place in Fortune Valley, which is a fictional version of which real-world place? I'll read that again. Question number 5. Need for Speed Payback 2017 took place in Fortune Valley, which is a fictional version of which real-world place? Real-world place. I'm really gutted that you've got the cool, like, tavern music, but I can't hear it. So I'll just pretend I can. Question number 6. What was the Sega Genesis known as outside of North America? I'll read that again. Question number 6. What was the Sega Genesis known as outside of North America? Question 7's quite long, sorry. Okay, question 7. The Xbox 360 was initially prone to a system failure. The console would show lights around the power button to warn of the failure. What was the issue commonly called? So what was it known as? I'll read that again. Question 7. The Xbox 360 was initially prone to a system's failure. The console would show lights around the power button to warn of the failure. What was the issue commonly called? And finally, for stage 6, racing and hardware. Question number 8. The Nintendo GameCube was available in 2 standard colours at launch in the UK. I've put in the UK because I don't know if it's the same everywhere else. So, in the UK. What were those colours? So, number 8. The Nintendo GameCube was available in 2 standard colours at launch in the UK. What were those colours? Hope you've all done well on those. Somebody said they missed number 5. I'm just going to do it because I'm a nice person. Number 5. Oh dear. Number 5 was Need for Speed Payback. Need for Speed Payback. I put Payback, but I think it's Payback. 2017 took place in Fortune Valley, which is a fictional version of which real-world place. All right. So ready for some answers, guys? I'm going to rattle through these quite quickly, so pay attention. Okay, so sports and beat 'em ups. Question number 1. The packing game with the Wii U, Wii Sports, had how many different sports games you could play? The answer is 5. You could play tennis, bowling, golf, baseball, and boxing. 5. So question number 1, the answer is 5. Question number 2. In the original Streets of Rage, you could play as either Axel, Blaze, or who? Or whom? No, who? I don't know. Adam. The third character in that game is Adam. So question number 2, Adam. Question number 3. SSX was a game about what type of sport? So originally I just thought it was snowboarding, but I then googled it and it said snowboarding and skiing. So if you put either of those, I'm giving you a point. But you don't get 2 points if you put both. Somebody just asked what the background is. It's from World of Warcraft. So number 3 is snowboarding or skiing. Question number 4, which is an answer I definitely knew the answer to before I wrote the question. Who is on the cover of EA Sports FIFA 19? It's Cristiano. I can't even say the name. It's Ronaldo. Ronaldo. If you put Ronaldo, you get a point. So number 4, Ronaldo. Question number 5. Rash, Zitz, Pimple are the names of who? They are the Battletoads. Rash, Zitz, and Pimple are the Battletoads. And that was question number 5. Question number 6. In Mortal Kombat, what does the character Scorpion say when dragging an opponent towards him with what looks a bit like a spear on a rope? I don't want to upset the person in the chat again. He says, "Get over here." But he says it a lot more manly than that. So question number 6 is Get Over Here. Question number 7. Waluigi made his first appearance in which game? Ooh, sugar. It was Mario Tennis 64. I've heard that he was just put in there so that Wario had someone to be on his like doubles team because there wasn't enough people. I don't know. So yeah, Waluigi made his first appearance in Mario Tennis 64, and that was the answer to number 7. And number 8, in Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube, which 2 Fire Emblem characters made their first appearance to the franchise, is Marth and Roy. Yeah, question number 8, Marth and Roy. Stage 5, Adventures and Horrors. We'll keep going. Number 1, in Resident Evil, Barry refers to Jill as the master of unlocking. And if you've seen the scene, it's so cheesy. Well, I mean, the whole game is cheesy, to be honest, but it's up there as one of the cheesiest bits in video games. She refers to her as the take this key. You as the master of unlocking. Yeah, that's really bad. Question number 2. In the original Tomb Raider 2, people found it hilarious to trap the butler in the walk-in freezer. What was the butler's name? Winston. I feel like that's quite a hard question, but the butler was called Winston. People laughing at me saying Ronaldo. Wrong. Question number 3. The enemy's pyramid heads are linked to which series? It's the Silent Hill series. So number 3 is Silent Hill. Number 4. Insult sword fighting is from which game series? It's from the Monkey Island series. The idea is that it's not important how you attack, it's what words you say as you attack almost. It's quite funny. So question 4 is Monkey Island. Number 5, which video game protagonist believed they were a descendant of Sir Francis Drake? It was the sexiest man in video games, Nathan Drake from Uncharted. So question 5 is Nathan Drake. If you put Uncharted, I think I said you could have half a point, so that's fine. Question number 6. Which controversial game of 2004 saw you play as James Earl Cash, a death row prisoner forced to participate in snuff films? It was Manhunt. And I remember it was pretty horrible. So question 6 is Manhunt. Question 7. What is the name of the I wonder how many of you got this. None of my friends probably got this. Question number 7. What is the name of the stat in Bloodborne that governs your character's inhuman knowledge and one way it can be acquired is by consuming Madman's knowledge? It's Insight. There's a little eye in the top right hand corner of your screen. It's Insight. And number 8, Shadow of the Colossus sees you climbing and slaying how many different colossi? I gave the options of 12, 16, 20 or 24. It is 16 colossi, and I played that game recently. It is very, very frustrating. Like, I'm not even sure it's fun. I mean, I finished it, but it was annoying. Stage 6, Racing and Hardware. Number 1. So, I read this to you. Set in 2052, players compete in the F3600 Anti-Gravity Racing League, piloting one of a selection of craft in races on several tracks around the world. What game am I describing? That was Wipeout. So, question 1 for stage 6, Wipeout. Question number 2. The Dreamcast had how many standard controller ports? It had 4 controller ports, as did the N64 and the original Xbox. The N64 did it first, though. So number 2 was 4. Number 3, not including the D-pad, how many buttons did the SNES controller have? I imagine a lot of you were like trying to picture it. So it had 8 buttons in total. It had A, B, X and Y on the front, as well as start and select on the front, and then on the sides it had L and R. So 8 was the answer for question 3. Question 4. The foul-mouthed squirrel Conker first made his appearance in which game? That game was Diddy Kong Racing for the N64. He was in that like a year and a half, maybe 2 years before he got his first game, Conker's Bad Fur Day. Was his first? Or the Game Boy one that came out? Anyway, he was definitely in Diddy Kong Racing well before he was in either of his actual own games. Question number 5. Oh, so yeah, that was number 4. So Diddy Kong Racing was the answer for number 4. Question number 5. Need for Speed Payback 27, which was released in 2017, took place in Fortune Valley, which is a fictional version of what real-world place? I mean, I didn't know this, but I suppose I could have worked it out. It's Las Vegas, Nevada. So question 5 is Las Vegas, Nevada. Number 6. What was the Sega Genesis known as outside of North America? That was the Sega Mega Drive. Such a good little console. So yeah, number 6. The Genesis was known as the Sega Mega Drive. Number 7. Nearly there, guys. Number 7. The Xbox 360 was initially prone to system failure. The console would show lights around the power button to warn of the failure. What was this issue commonly called? It was known as, or commonly known as, it was known as the Red Ring of Death. I hope that question was fair, because I feel like that's what everyone called it, right? So question 7, the Red Ring of Death. And question number 8, the Nintendo GameCube was available in 2 standard colours at launch in the UK. What were those colours? It was black and purple. Black and purple was number 8. Right. We are going to have a bonus round. I hope you're ready. I've got my little animation because I forgot the one for the picture round. It's exactly the same as all the other ones you've seen, but I'm still doing it. Bonus round. Oh, okay. You ready? Animation incoming. Go! Okay. I am going to be playing you 8 pieces of music. They're about 20 to 25 seconds long, I think. Only going to be playing them once because they're long. I want the name of the game. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, I don't think any of them are like a particular, well, some of them are a particular game, but like, if you can't get the actual game, that the game franchise still counts as 1 point. So, for example, if there was a song you recognised as being a Mario game, you can just put, like, Mario. It's fine. Like, I think it doesn't have to, like, say Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, whatever. Mario's fine. Okay. Hope you're all ready. And I hope this works. The picture round worked. I've tried to turn them all down a little bit. If they're too loud, have your controller in hand just in case, because I'm not sure how loud this is going to be. Okay. So, which game or game franchise is this piece of music from? Oh, actually, what I'm going to do is drag down the background music of my pub. My pub. You ready? Okay, that was number 1. Okay? So, incoming number 2. Okay, that was number 2. So, incoming number 3. Okay. And number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Number 7. I feel like a bingo caller. And finally, number 8. Yeah, I can't actually hear the music, so I'm having to like watch the little thing go up and down on my screen. Right, so that was all 8 of them. Okay, so I'm going to go through them, because there's no cool way of me doing this other than us just listening to them again and then me telling you what they are, which is another like 3-4 minutes of me just play music. So, right, I'm going to go. Right, number 1. Again, I'm not after like specific levels or like games they're in. Like, I'm just going to tell you the franchise, basically. So, number 1 was Sonic the Hedgehog. So 1 point for that, if you got it. Number 2, Banjo-Kazooie. Number 3, Mega Man. Number 4, Zelda. Number 5 was Kirby. Number 6 was Crash Bandicoot. Number 7 was The Last of Us, because I had to put a Last of Us question in there somewhere. Oh. No, that's the second one I've put in, isn't it? I've just remembered. And number 8 was Jak and Daxter. Excuse me. Cider's repeating on me, I do apologise. Yeah, number 8, Jak and Daxter. So yeah, what I'd like you to do now is just like add up all your totals for each round. So we've had 8 rounds, and because I haven't given any bonus points, your absolute total I think should be 64, which is, if I ever do this again, that's the total I'm going to keep to because it's amazing. Let me minimize that. So yeah, if you can start adding up your scores, be interesting, like if people would mind putting them in the comments. As I say, I'll see them like 20 seconds later and respond to them. your end anyway. It'll look like I'm responding 20 seconds later, but be interesting to see what your totals are when you can, please. And then I will actually while you do that, I will pick a final question. I had one in mind, but I might change it. Yeah, we'll stick with this. So I've got a 39, not bad at all. 31.5 for Adam and I assume Kaylee. Well done, Adam K. 29.5 for Josh. 20.5 for Shellnet. Rich got 27.5. Cannon 42.5. Nadine 35. Quite high scores. I'm suitably impressed. John, well done, John, for having a go, I guess. John got 15. 26.5. Yeah, okay. 33 for Mr. W maths teacher, is it? Mr. R. Wilkinson. Oh, Ben. Oh, did you actually get 60? Was it, how do you say name? Reikazu. I'm impressed. I think, yeah. Some high scores though. 45, 35. I would say Ben got 56.5. Kate with 49 with lots of exclamation points. She's very proud of that. 50 out of 64 for Chris Jeffrey. I'm genuinely surprised, Reikazu, if you didn't get the Mega Man. Considering your general knowledge about video games, that's impressive. I didn't know Kirby either. You need to play some classic Nintendo, clearly. Alright, thank you so much. Right, okay, so yeah, what I was going to do, sorry. Okay, you ready? Final, like, just in case anybody's drawing with someone in their house or somebody in the comments, this is the final round, which is my boss round. You ready? Okay, so just curious. Again, like, this won't add to your list, your final score. It's just be curious to see how close you think you can get. Okay, so what do you think, or what is the world record for completing Super Mario 64 and collecting all 120 of the stars? Again, on the N64. So what time do you think is the world record for collecting 120 stars in Super Mario 64? And I saw this and I was like, yeah, I could totally do that. Harry got 49. You all did really well, actually. Yeah. 51. Not tool assisted. No. Just the game. Well, I'm actually disappointed. I should have picked another because people are guessing under the actual time. So to be honest, it would take me. I mean, how long is a casual playthrough? I'm not even going to Google it. It's going to take so long. I'm sure a casual playthrough of that is about 16 hours, I'd have thought, to actually like get 120 stars. But the world record is 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 43 seconds, which 120 stars is a lot to collect. So that is like, considering like at least 11 of those stars to collect all 100, collect 100 coins on each level. Like, that's mental. The 0-star category, so glitching your way through, still not tool assisted, but glitching your way through, is 6 minutes, 36 seconds, and 43 milliseconds. So yeah, 6 minutes if you just want if you want to glitch your way through the entire game and not collect a single star. Right, thank you so much, everybody. Like, I really appreciate the amount of people that turned up. Like, I was expecting like 10 of like the people that I was going to make to turn up, but we've had like a decent number turn up, and I'm really pleased. Thank you so much. I hope it's been okay your end. I hope I haven't looked too nervous. My knee is still jumping up and down. The side hasn't stopped that, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks. I'm not really sure how to end this. Like, I guess that if people like really want me to do this, maybe I could do it again in a couple of weeks' time. Like, just maybe either put a message in here or put a message on the Facebook page. Maybe let me know what I can do to improve it. Is it too long? Because it's been like an hour and a half, and I know a lot of people might get really bored of that. So yeah, just let me know. I would say it's a lot of work, but it's not loads of work. I can do it. It's just maybe I'll get smoother the more I do it. But yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm going to go now. I love you all. Bye. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Bye.